What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of the Let's Go show. Today, we're just going to have a very chill, laid back episode. I am joined by my boy, Editor Geo, once again on the pod. And it's just going to be me and Geo having a chill conversation. I asked you guys to send in some questions via Instagram. So again, if you're new to the Let's Go show, we have episodes coming out every Saturday morning where we talk about things going on in the world of entertainment, social media, and just life in general. This is a very sporadic podcast where I kind of get to talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. So if you guys are down to listen, well, then join us for the ride. So Gio, bro, welcome to the pod. This is our first episode, just me and you. We got an exciting future ahead looking to 2023 and with the guests that we're going to bring on. But man, it's always nice to have you on. And bro, we're always having conversations like off camera, like on FaceTime. We talk every single day. This is like my main man when it comes to production and in terms of like editing YouTube content, TikTok, strategizing. Gio is the man.
Bro. You're making me blush, bro. I'm just happy to be here, bro. I just want to jump into it. I think that we got a bright future ahead. I downloaded OBS. I got some lights. I got a freaking camera. I can go back and forth like this, show my face, show Matt's face. I can show you whatever you want. So we're figuring this shit out together. It's only going to get better. I'm excited, bro. I'm pumped.
Facts. So again, I asked you guys to send in some questions via Instagram because again, this is a very interactive podcast. I always love for you guys to send in some questions, interact in the comment sections over there on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, TikTok, on Spotify, iTunes. Make sure to leave a review on Spotify and iTunes so like that our podcast can be rated higher in the ratings. But with that being said, man, let's get into our first question. Our first question comes from Maddie.Funk, and he's asking, what is your biggest motivation looking into 2023? So as we head into this new year, there's a ton of exciting stuff in terms of like the movies that we're getting. Just to read you guys a list of all of the major films and franchise movies that we're getting in 2023. We have Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Marvels, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Kraven, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, Creed 3, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Rebel Moon, Dune 2, Wonka, Super Mario Bros, Killers of the Flower Moon, The Little Mermaid, Red One, Elemental, Ghosted, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Indiana Jones 5, Scream 6, Beau is Afraid, John Wick 4, The Equalizer 3, Fast X, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, The Exorcist.
Bro, it sounds like you're reading Bible verses right now, dog. You're just spitting, bro.
And the list continues, man. Insidious 5, Asteroid City, Megan, The Nun 2, and nonetheless, At Midnight, coming to Paramount Plus on February 12th. We're going to talk about At Midnight later on because, guys, in 2023, your boy is going to be in a movie. I never foresaw this in my future, but it just came to be, man. Like sometimes when you go through life, things happen that are completely out of your control and that you don't really expect to happen, but they just do. And this was one of those things that came up where truly, man, like when I look back on my journey and I think, man, like I've worked hard for a lot of things in my life, but some things, it's just a gift from God, truly. And I think this is definitely one of those moments. So we'll talk more about that in the back end of today's show. But looking forward to 2023, honestly, as we head into this new year, my biggest motivation, guys, I would say making the transition from being a consumer to a producer. You know, my entire life, I've always been a fan of movies, shows. I've loved media since before I could even walk, dude. I as a baby in a crib, I grew up watching the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, the Michael Keaton Batman films. Like I've always had such an intense passion for movies and shows and film in general.
Your first words was "Let's go," probably. You know what I mean? You was ready. Right out the womb, you was ready, dog.
Quite literally, "Let's go" were my first words ever. That's why the show is called the Let's Go Show. So thank you for joining us. But yeah, looking forward to 2023, I think my biggest goal / motivation is to make that transition from becoming someone who's consumed and I've built my brand off of loving movies and shows and talking about it. And, you know, you guys love to talk about it too. And we just have that conversation. And that's why we've grown the community that we've been able to grow. But now looking forward to 2023, I definitely want to, I guess, make that transition from not only being a consumer, but also being a producer and someone who's putting out content for the world to judge, in terms of like movies, shows, stuff like that. So I
So what
definitely
are you talking about? You want to be a director in 2023? You just got in a movie. You want to be a director now?
I don't want to be a director. I want to be I just want to bring my stories to life. So I guess that means
I get what you're saying. You're trying to just get into that next level of creativity and production in like the Hollywood space.
Yeah, and when you really look at it, like I guess in a way, like we're all, each and every single one of us are producers to a certain capacity. You know, at a certain level, like all of our lives are a direct reflection of what we produce with our actions. So like for me, like my entire life has been like, oh, let me think of something, let me dream about it, and now let me do everything I can to make it come to life. And you know, when it comes to producing movies, it's the same thing. It's like you come up with an idea for a movie and then you have to work your ass off for years and put in the work and maybe it'll come to life. And I kind of like that.
Got a slim chance, like
really,
like a hopeful prayer. Like people have been working on movies for 15 years and like they still can't get it on the big screen.
yeah, no, for sure. Like when it comes to making movies, guys, like as I've moved to LA and I've gotten more into Hollywood and understanding like and learning the game, like when it comes to making movies, man, like it takes a miracle to make a movie and to bring it all together. And let alone for the movie to be good. For the movie to be good is a whole separate conversation. But for the movie to even get made, it's its own miracle that needs to happen. And I kind of like that challenge. That's something that excites me. So going into 2023, I feel like we all have to be chasing something that excites us, something that challenges us, something that forces us to make us grow. And for me, it's taking that next step from not only being a consumer, because I'll always be that. I'll always be a fan. I'll always be someone who's just going to sit back and be excited for all of the future movies, shows, and games that are coming. But now I also want to make that transition into also producing content, not only for you guys, but for the rest of the world to enjoy. And that is completely separate from the content that I post on social media, because the content I post on social media is based on me being a consumer. But now I want to make that transition into being a producer and put out stories that have never been told before and that I think a lot of people can relate to and will inspire us to be better people. Gio, what is your biggest motivation going into 2023?
Oh man, I want to freaking hit the gym and stop eating like a dumbass. That's my motivation for 2023. That is my resolution for 2023. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I'm starting to get hangovers that are just as bad as if I was to drink, but just from how I ate that day. Like if I bust up a Taco Bell the next day, I can't get out of bed. I can't get out of bed because I ate a Chalupa XXL edition. So you know what I mean? Like I gotta work on my diet life and work on my gym life, because one of the things, Matt, that I have a problem with, I lack like self-discipline. Like the way I was raised and the way I was brought up is like, it's okay to baby ourselves, to forgive ourselves. Like, oh, you worked hard today. You had a long day, man. Just take it easy. Why don't you put on some Netflix, watch a little show, relax, go on TikTok for 4 or 5 hours and just chill on that couch and don't do nothing. Like self-discipline is something that I lack and I really want to have in 2023. So yeah, that's my New Year's resolution. Totally off topic, but my resolution for sure is definitely trying to stay in the gym and fix my diet, bro, all year long. And I'm holding you to that so you can like keep me in line and shit.
Oh, I'm gonna hold you accountable, bro. Like, yeah, and honestly, when it comes to creating discipline in your life, dude, it's a matter of just doing it every single day. I swear, every single day, no matter what, no excuses. Look, we have 24 hours in a day, and there are zero excuses why you can't hit the gym for at least one of those hours in that day. And I'm gonna hold you to that, bro. Like, cause that's the thing. And you're still young, bro. You're what, 23?
23. I'll be 24 next month and a half.
Bro, exactly. It's not like you're 35, 40, 50, where your metabolism has run out. No, bro, you still got the metabolism in you. So there is no reason why you can't hit the gym at least once for 1 hour every single day. And again, continue to produce those results. Bro, even in your office, like sometimes I'm just walking around my house and I'll just drop down and get like 50 push-ups in. You know what I'm saying? Do it right now. Look, if you're on Spotify and iTunes, you can't see this, but Geo is doing push-ups as we speak.
I'm changing my life. I want to be a better person. How many is that? How's my form, bro? Bro, how's the form?
It's going. It's going.
Do I look like an amateur? Because I feel like one.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Bro, I'm struggling at 10, bro. I'm struggling at 10.
All right, good. Okay, so you got 10 in, right? Now look, by the end of the year, at least you have a base, you have a benchmark. So now at the end of 2023, after you've worked out for an hour for 365 days straight, you're going to be able to look back to this moment and be like, bro, 10, I could do 10 push-ups with one finger. You know what I'm saying? I could do 10 push-ups in my sleep.
What should be my end goal? Like, I just did 10 and I struggled and I can't breathe and I'm sweating like a disaster under this hoodie from 10. So what should be my end goal by our next New Year's podcast? Like, what should I be able to do easily?
Look, I would say your main focus shouldn't be on like an end goal or an end result. Your main focus should be on being consistent every single day. Like for me, I have my goals. Like let's say like one of the goals I have in 2023 is to surpass 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. That would mean me doubling my subscriber count on YouTube from now until the end of 2023. But instead of focusing on that, I'm focusing on the action steps. And that is my true goal. Because if I follow through with those action steps, I will get closer to achieving that overarching goal. You know what I'm saying? So my action steps, I literally printed out on a piece of paper and I literally hung up these pieces of paper around my house. My action steps are, I'm going to be very consistent with posting 3 to 5 YouTube videos every single week for all of 2023. And if I do that, I will be much closer to hitting 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. So for you, for example, your goal shouldn't be, I don't know, it shouldn't be to hit a certain weight on a scale. Your goal should be, all right, I need to work out every single day. I need to work out for an hour every single day, because working out for an hour every single day, that's an action step. Whereas
so you're saying no reps. Don't even count the reps. Don't even make a goal. Just your goal should just be set a time and work out nonstop during that time. That's it.
1,000%. For an hour, you hit the gym. How much damage can you do in an hour? How many sets can you do? And bro, look to people that have done it already. Like look to people that are fit. You know, there's so much information on the internet at your disposal. So you can go on the internet and you can search up what The Rock does. You know, what all these people in the fitness game do in order to get fit, in order to lose weight, in order to create muscle, and learn from them. Like I guess that's been one of my biggest lessons in life. It's been like, if you want to succeed in something, immerse yourself in an environment of success. Again, I want to get into producing, right? So I've literally been studying like what have the most successful producers in all of Hollywood history, what has been their journey? What have they done? What have the most successful directors, what have they done in order to get to where they are? Like as you do that and as you study successful people and whatever you're trying to do, you find kind of like the commonalities, you find those common denominators within all of them. It makes it easier for you to follow that same path. And
in essence of what you're trying to say is being who you want to be is almost like surrounding yourself with the people that inspire you to be that person and that are in that space and that are got that body or is in the gym or has that lifestyle. It's about surrounding yourself around the people that bring you up instead of kind of just keep you in the same space that you're in.
1,000%, bro. For me, like I'm out here in LA, like I don't have a squad of boys to hit the gym with every single day. You know what I'm saying? So like, what do? Like, dude, I put it in my ears. Like I listen to motivational speeches from people like The Rock, Conor McGregor, David Goggins, like people that just like successful ass motherfuckers that have done it, man. And that's what you got to do, bro. Like if you don't have people to hold you accountable in person, you got to put it in your ears. Like we have so much access with the internet and with our phones and with all that stuff.
In 2023, this time on the pod next year, we got a lot to reevaluate and see how far we both came. You know what I mean? Since this last war.
Oh, we will, bro. And another thing too is that look, like you kind of just mentioned that I'm in LA, you're in Orlando, but like, bro, on our journey through life, as long as you put in the work and you freaking grind, like you will find people that are trying to do the same thing, and You will find the people that are meant to be in your life as you continue to go through your journey. Dude, by you hitting the gym for an hour every single day, I guarantee you by the end of 2023, you would have probably made a friend at the gym who's trying to get better too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I linked up. I palled up with somebody at the gym.
No one that you know is after that same thing. Like, dude, back home in Miami, like, again, I don't know. I was raised in a community where we were all kind of brainwashed into thinking like, all right, school's the way out. Go to school, get a degree, get a successful 9-to-5 job, and that'll equal happiness. But that's not the case for a lot of people, man. And I think we're all different, and we all have different passions and things we want to express in this life and do in this life. I kind of took that risk in trying to express my own love and passion, which lies in the entertainment space for film, TV, and all that stuff. And it's led me to this path, Geo. Like, I wouldn't have met you if I never took this path. And now look, here we are. We're like freaking best friends. We talk every single day, and we're running a podcast right now. Like, it's a beautiful thing, but it's a testament that when you grind and you put in the work and you continue down this journey of like improving yourself, you will come across other people that are trying to improve themselves as well.
It comes back to self-discipline, right? Because we got myself too. We got most people who are trying to grind their my player and my career on 2K harder than their actual selves in life. And that it just comes down to self-discipline. You know what I mean? Look,
we're both young as hell, bro. Like, I'm 21, you're 23. Like, we're still learning discipline. And that's that comes with a part of, that's a part of life, like learning discipline, learning how to do things, even though you don't want to do them. Like, that is probably one of the most important things you can learn in this life. So I'm still learning it. You're still learning it. We're all still learning it, man. Probably the majority of people watching this podcast are on the younger side as well. When I say younger side, I mean younger than 50. Let's do a little cheers to 2023 and to all of our goals, man. Let's freaking get it. As the name of the show, it's called the Let's Go Show. So let's freaking go, man. So now moving on to the next question. IXE picks. Ike's picks. If you could live in one movie's universe, which one would it be? I mean, my answer, I think, would surprise a lot of people. It's not going to be Marvel. It's not going to be DC. I think the Pokemon universe would be such a cool universe.
The Pokemon universe?
1000%, dude.
Bro, that shit's scary. You got all kinds of creatures going around. My kid just bursted in the room. She heard Pokemon. She wanted to be a little Pokemon.
Look, what universe would you pick? I know there's some people that say Harry Potter. That's a good universe as well.
Bro, I don't know. Like, if I can live, I'm just trying to get by in the universe I'm in right now. I don't know if I'm able to switch universes and go to a different place. You know what I'm saying?
What's another universe? Maybe No. Well, I was going to say Ready Player One, but like Earth in that universe is messed up, dude. Everyone lives in the Oasis. No, I am not going to that universe. So, yeah, I think Pokemon is a great pick, dude. Like, to just walk around and try to be a trainer and capture Pokemon and bond with them. Me and Thor and Coda, Coda and Thor are essentially my Pokemon, but they're just like regular dogs. In a Pokemon universe, they would actually be my Pokemon. You know what I'm saying?
This is a beard scratcher, a head scratcher, a butt scratcher. I'm really not sure exactly where I would want to live in a different universe. Like, my brain says Blade Runner. Why would I want to live in Blade Runner 2049? That place is like apocalyptic. You know what I'm saying? I just think, I don't know where I would want to live. Like, that's a tough one. That's a head scratcher. I don't know.
Star Wars, maybe?
Star Wars. I don't know that.
Live on Tatooine.
That shit sounds too galactic to me. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to work this OBS. You want me to be in space with Han Solo trying to figure out how to fly around and shit? Like, I can't do that.
Nah, yeah. I'm definitely going with the Pokemon universe. I feel like the Pokemon universe is OP.
Maybe it's not that bad because it's kind of just normal if you think about it. It's kind of just normal, but we got these crazy ass creatures rolling around. You can capture them and get in battles. You know what I mean? So it's not that bad, the Pokemon universe, now that I think about it.
Dude, I know living in the MCU would suck. That's
a shit life, living in the MCU. People, there's so much tragedy going on in the MCU, bro.
Bro, the MCU, dude, like, imagine living in the MCU. One day you're just walking down the street doing your job. The next, there's a freaking alien invasion right over your head. You know, aliens are bringing down buildings. These people in like spandex and unitards are fighting these aliens.
Living in the MCU sounds like actual misery. So no, I'm out for the MCU.
Our normal lives, right? Like here on real Earth, our normal lives are traumatic enough. Imagine going through something like a snap. Like, dude, everyone on Earth would be scarred. no matter what, if you survived the snap, you would be scarred. If you didn't survive the snap, you would be scarred. Our normal lives here on Earth are already traumatic enough. Everyone already has their enough trauma. So yeah, FC would suck. I'm sticking with the Pokemon universe. That is my answer. Yeah, now moving on to question 3. Question 3 comes from Grayson_Diaz. Who's a celebrity that you wish you could have met, but unfortunately is no longer here? So when I initially read this question, 2 names definitely came to my mind. I'm going to have to say for a fact, Stan Lee and Christopher Reeve. Stan Lee and Christopher Reeve are the 2 men that come to mind. You know, Stan Lee changed all of our lives by creating the characters that have changed all of our lives, and that will continue to live on till the end of our dying days and further after that. So Stan Lee, for a fact, man, like just being able to express my gratitude to Stan Lee, that's something I would have loved to do, but unfortunately Stan passed away. And for me personally, Christopher Reeve, you know, he brought Superman to life. And if that original Richard Donner Superman movie never succeeded, maybe we wouldn't have them. For a fact, we wouldn't have the MCU. We wouldn't have the Michael Keaton Batman films. We wouldn't have a lot of the superhero genre. What it is today, it wouldn't be what it is today if it weren't for the success of that original Christopher Reeve, Richard Donner Superman movie. So I would love to express my love and gratitude to Christopher Reeve. Geo, who's the celebrity that you wish you could have met, but unfortunately, you know, is no longer with us?
Man, that's a fantastic question. Something I got to think about right quick. Robin Williams. Robin Williams looked like a freaking great guy to just be around in general. Chris Farley. Chris Farley is actually my number 1. That is a celebrity I would have loved to meet before they passed away. Chris Farley for sure is top of my list. Robin Williams.
Yeah, Robin Williams, man, that's a great pick. I love Robin Williams so much. Yeah, shout out to Gason for sending in that question. Again, we want this show to be super interactive. So if you guys have an answer that comes to your mind when I ask you, who's a celebrity that you wish you could have met, but unfortunately is no longer with us, make sure to comment that down below on the YouTube video, on Twitter, on wherever you're seeing this. Make sure to engage and submit your answers too, man. Looking forward to question 4. We have Elijah_Texan11 says, what was your career path before becoming a social media influencer? This is actually a very fun question because I've never really talked about this ever on social media.
Oh, we're getting a little Matt behind the scenes, a little Matt at night.
Dude, yeah. No, Gio, look, I've never even told you this, bro. Like growing up, one thing I really wanted to be was a marine biologist. Like I loved the ocean, animals. I knew every fact about like a ton of different species of fish, different mammals, dinosaurs. Like I really loved the ocean. And growing up in Miami, like the ocean is a huge part of your life, whether it's going to the Florida Keys, whether it's going to the Bahamas, whether it's going to Miami Beach. Like the ocean is just such a huge part of Miami culture. And growing up, I wanted to be a marine biologist. And then as I continued to grow older, I wanted to be a basketball player because the Miami Heat were on fire. And those were like my real, you know, I love Superman, I love Spider-Man, I love Batman, but like they don't exist in like the real world. It's just like they just exist in media. But like the Miami Heat, like Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh were real to me. And I love basketball so much. Even to this day, I still love basketball with all my heart. And I'm blessed to be able to work with the Miami Heat now and in this position. So shout out to the Heat. Yeah, after I wanted to be a marine biologist, I wanted to be a NBA basketball player. Unfortunately, I'm like 5'10", so my genetics did not reward me with the capabilities.
Could have been 5'6". Okay, the grass is always greener. All right, remember that.
No, I'm not complaining about my height. I am very grateful for the way God made me. But yeah, it wasn't in my cards. You know what I'm saying? But what a beautiful thing. I never thought I never made it to the NBA despite me wanting to make it, but I still ended up signing some form of an NBA contract when, you know, I signed a sponsorship with the Miami Heat. So
that was freaking sick. And the fact that you wanted to be like what two total different worlds? A marine biologist or an NBA player? And then YouTube and TikTok sensation. And we're just like three total different fields. But I think you landed the right one, I'm gonna have to say. And the fact that you came full circle to come back to the NBA. Now all you got to do is discover some kind of new fish, and then you did it all.
Yeah, it'll come around at some point. But yeah, after I wanted to be an NBA player, as I continued to grow older, when I hit freshman year, as a ninth grader in high school, I was able to take college classes. And I remember taking AP psychology, and I loved psychology. I still do to this day, because I think psychology teaches us a lot of things about ourselves, and about other people. And I think it's something that's necessary for all of us to learn to a certain extent. So psychology taught me a lot about myself. And honestly, like in my ninth grade year of high school, like that's where I kind of broke down, guys. Because again, in Miami and just in Hispanic culture, you're raised, because we come from other countries that are just shit. Now that we're in the US, we are taught to go to school, grind, get that college degree, get a 9-to-5 job, live a stable life, and you will be happy. So after blindly just trying to get the best grades in school my entire life, in ninth grade, when I was taking these college classes and on top of all of my other classes as well, I just got so overwhelmed to the point where I was just like, dude, what do I really want to do with my life? And I started looking outside of school. I started, doing research online. I started kind of just like this, trying to like discover myself, like what makes me happy, what looking back on my life, what have been the happiest moments and what's the common denominator in that. And I found that, a common denominator in a lot of the happiest moments of my life tied back to my love for movies and shows and video games. So, when I discovered that back when I was 15, 16, that's when I decided to take the chance on maybe making and creating a life where I could like talk about this for a living, because I've talked about it my entire life without a camera. But now maybe if I record it, maybe I'll be able to make a living. And holy shit, here we are, dude. What a life, man. God bless. Shout out to every single one of you guys.
Bro. God is good all the time. God is good, man. That's crazy, bro. That's really insane.
So yeah, those were kind of like just the progressions of my career, of my life before I became a social media influencer. First, I wanted to be a marine biologist because I love the ocean and I love animals. Then I wanted to be an NBA basketball player. Then I wanted to do something in psychology because I really love psychology. But it led me to this path of not just being a social media influencer, because I don't think any of us can label ourselves as one thing. Like even if I'm like a waiter at a restaurant, you're not just a waiter. You are so much more than that. If you're a doctor, you're not just a doctor. You are so much more than that. Us as human beings, we are so complex and we are so many different things that I don't think we can label ourselves as just one thing, because we all have so many different gifts we can bring to the table that no one else can bring. So that's just my take on that. Geo, what was kind of like your, I guess, path through life before becoming an editor and expressing your talents in like production like that?
Bro, I had no idea I'd be here right now, like zero. I started off like doing really just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And majority of what I wanted to do, bro, was like my goal as a kid was to be like an actor or like a YouTuber or like just I was a spotlight hungry kid. I always wanted the spotlight. And I was really envied that lifestyle and that kind of person. I was so hungry for that. And that's what I wanted. That was the goal I was chasing. And it never happened. I made YouTube channels. I made all kinds of things. And while I did see some types of exposure, it never became like a career or a lifestyle for me. So like one day I just reached out to the Lord and I said, God, this is all I know how to do is use this computer and make music. And that's it. This is all I know how to do is use this computer realistically. If there's a way I could do this to provide for my family, I'll do it, Lord. Just show me. And it wasn't even a month or two later, not even maybe a couple of weeks later, where my mom came to me and said, why don't you figure out how to do what you do, but for a career, like to make money and to live your life like that. So I literally Googled how to make money editing. And the first thing that came up was Upwork. I went on Upwork, I made a profile, I made a website, and bro, through the power of God, the first gig I got paid me a significant amount of money, bro. Like a ridiculous amount of money. And it changed my entire life. I stood at that job for a year. And then when the company started downsizing, they said, it's time for us to give you a lower pay. And I was like, you know what? I think I found my self-worth and I think I found out what I want to do. So I'm just going to step away from you guys. And I left. Or we parted ways, or however you want to say it. They fired me, whatever. But I decided then that it was time for me to start doing this for real, start doing what I like to do. And if I couldn't be the YouTuber or the face, maybe it was meant for me to help other people reach that goal or do that for a living. So during that whole time, as this is happening, I'm watching Matt's videos every day to get my Marvel inside, my Marvel kick. I'm watching his stuff to try to figure out exactly like, what's going on in the world of Marvel. And a lot of other creators too. But Matt was like my go-to. So I was watching his YouTube videos and I was like, man, if we can just connect somehow and make some kind of collaboration, it would be the ultimate video. Cause I already love this stuff, but if I could find a way to just edit it and you know what I mean? And just like reach out to him. So I literally went Twitter, bro. Twitter is powerful as shit. I literally went on Twitter and I said, Matt, I made a fan edit. Big fan, been watching you for years. Check it out. And God brought us here, man. God is good. I never thought I'd be where I'm at today. So just keep trusting in God and do whatever it is that you want to do. Because if you're really passionate about it, it's going to work out. And that's a fact. I don't care what anybody else says, man. That's a fact.
1000%, man. I totally agree. And man, I'm just grateful to God bringing us together. And now here we are, man. So shout out to Geo. Next question comes from Ray Reyna. Shout out to Ray Reyna. Reyna's my mom's name. I love that name so much, of course, because it comes from my mom. But Ray Reyna asked, how do you balance your personal life and work life? Love your content, by the way. So this is such a great question because honestly, like the balance of my life is such a tricky thing to do. It's such a tricky thing to kind of navigate because I don't really have a 9-to-5 job. I work every single day of my life, and I don't like to call it work because I love doing what I do. Like when I was in high school, man, like I worked in construction. I worked as a school counselor. Like that to me was work because I didn't like it. But for me to just sit here and press record on a camera and talk about what I love, talk about freaking superheroes and movies and shows, like that isn't really work, but it's still, I guess, again, it's like work life. You know what I'm saying? It's still a career and it's still my career. So I'll say that. But it is very important to separate your career life from your personal life. And for me, what I've discovered over, the past couple of years of my life, it's like, it's important to take time for yourself. It's important to do things that don't necessarily benefit your career, but they benefit you and your mental health and get you right. Because at the end of the day, if you're not right as a human being, your career isn't going to flourish either. You know what I'm saying? So for me, usually I just stick to my routine, and my routine is to wake up in the morning, hit the gym. Again, the gym isn't for my career. The gym is for me. And at the gym, I get myself right. I feel really good coming out of it. The gym does a lot more for my mindset than it does for my actual body itself. Because by the time I'm coming out of the gym, like I feel like I can conquer anything in my path. And then after I get out of the gym, I shower, and then right there, I get right into making TikTok videos. I get into creating YouTube videos, and I just kind of get into a flow and kind of lose myself in my work. And I love it so much. But then later on, like I'll take my afternoons and I'll take my break and I'll go to the dog park with my dogs and I'll spend time with them. I'll watch a movie that I really like or I have never seen before, but have wanted to see. And again, those things don't necessarily benefit my career, but they benefit me as a human being, and they feed my energy and they feed my passion. They feed me. So like that the next day I can wake up with that same motivation to get up and grind and be better and continue that workflow. So my balance when it comes to my personal life and my work life, again, there certainly has to be a balance, despite us living in a culture where, our culture kind of promotes just like grind, grind, grind. But I also think it's very important to take time for ourselves, to travel. That's one of my biggest goals for 2023. I want to travel. I want to get out of my office. I want to travel the world. I want to see the world. I think that's very important, especially for a lot of us young people, to go out there and see the world. The world is so big. It's so different. I recently in November, I took a trip up like 5 hours in upper Northern California to like this very secluded town. And it's just like, truly felt like a whole different world, a whole different culture, and a whole different environment, a completely different type of people. And it was a beautiful thing. And it made me kind of, it kind of birthed an ambition to go out there and explore more of the world. Because a lot of the times we can get very comfortable where we are in our homes, in our jobs, in our kind of safe spaces where we can just be ourselves. But one thing I've definitely learned is that it's important to travel and to go out there and see the rest of the world. So that certainly doesn't benefit my business. It doesn't benefit my career, but it benefits me. And I think that's very important. It's very important to have personal goals for ourselves, and then to have work goals for our careers and for that part of our lives. And then to also have goals for our relationships, and, the relationships we have with intimate people, with non-intimate people, with the rest of the world itself. I think it's all very important. So there certainly has to be a balance between personal and work and career life. And that's kind of just how I balance myself. I have goals in each respect, and I take time for my career because I love what I do, but I also take time for myself. And that is more than okay. And I think we all should do that to a certain extent. So shout out Ray Reina. Thank you for sending in that question. I love you so much.
That is definitely something I forgot about, bro. I need the freaking travel. Bro, there's so many ancestors and people in my family that never left the US, just back and forth from New York, California, and Florida. Like, that's just the majority of my family and the Egyptian-Romanian culture. That's all we did. There's, how many times I go to my grandfather, I'm like, how come you never like left the country? Like, just go to Hawaii. It's still in the US. Like, how come we never, like, that's definitely a bucket list. Like, I gotta see the world. Like, God did so much. Like, there's more than just these states. I did see a lot of states. I traveled a lot. I've seen a lot of the US, but I really want to see the country. Like, I really want to, like, the rest of the countries. Like, I really need to travel. Like, that's definitely something I'm hoping I can do in 2023 for sure.
Yeah, no, and I guess for me, like, again, coming from like just speaking on behalf of my family, like my families came from like my family came from Nicaragua, and they've just been in Miami in the US and enjoying the freedom that the US has to offer, and they haven't really gone anywhere else. I love the US. I love Miami. I love California. I'm very grateful for this country and for the life that it's given me. But I also think it's very important to explore the rest of the world, because there's so much that we haven't explored. You know what I'm saying? And my goal is to travel at least 4 times next year. Actually, this feeds right into my next question. In February, I'm going to be, sometime in January or February, I'm going to be going to Mexico City for the premiere for the movie that I'm going to be in, called At Midnight. And that leads right into our final question of the day, which comes from Arc E Studios 1. Shout out to Arc E Studios 1 for sending in the question. He said, how did your role in At Midnight come to be? So for those of you who don't know, I am going to be starring in my first movie. Starring is not the right word to use, because I just have a small cameo in this movie. Again, I don't want you guys to get your hopes up. I am not the lead. I am not a supporting actor. I just have a very small cameo in this movie. And that is, that's enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm not Timothy Chalamet. I know I'm not Leonardo DiCaprio. That's the thing. I'm very self-aware of who I am and the talents that I bring to the table. But I'm very excited to be talking about the fact that I have a cameo in a movie, and the fact that it's coming out on Paramount Plus.
Cameo or not, if you literally just walk by the camera, that's freaking crazy to me. I don't even care what happens, bro.
Dude, if I was an extra in a movie, like, I would be so hyped for that.
Bro, if you was in the back eating a panini, like, who cares? If you're there, you're there, man. That's goals, man. I'm really excited. I have no idea. You never told me. That's how serious you are when it comes to business. You didn't even tell me. Like I had no idea. Like I literally never even knew. So I'm really curious to see exactly like what it is, and I'm really interested to see the movie in general. The movie sounds really cool because like they don't make like rom-coms anymore. Like they don't make normal movies anymore. So I'm just excited to see like a normal show.
Yeah, no. So, like, look, guys. So this is going to be a rom-com, but there is a superhero element to it, and I'm super excited to talk about that. So, look, from I can't say much because honestly, I don't know that much. Like, they didn't tell me much. They just kind of like this. So this opportunity, I'll talk a lot more about this because I think we're gonna have the director on the Let's Go show at some point. I definitely want to get Jonah Feingold on, who directed the movie, because him and I connected, and then this all kind of came to be. But Paramount released some details about the movie, and they said this is a charming romantic comedy. At Midnight centers around Alejandro, played by Diego Boneta, who's an ambitious hotel manager, and Sophie, who's played by Monica Barbaro from Top Gun Maverick. So the female fighter pilot from Top Gun Maverick, she's the lead actress in this movie, and she plays Sophie, a movie star navigating the politics of Hollywood, and Alejandro is focused on opening up his own boutique hotel. She's trying to focus on shooting her new superhero film, Super Society 3, in hopes of getting her own spinoff, but catches her co-star, Adam, cheating. Fate strikes when the shoot brings them all to Alejandro's hotel in Mexico. Despite their radically different lives, Alejandro and Sophie begin to secretly meet at midnight. So that's the synopsis and description that they've released for the movie. I am super excited about it. Again, there's a little bit of that superhero element to it, and that the lead actress, she plays an actress in an actual superhero movie. So yeah, there's a lot in this that I'm super excited to see come to life. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I know I'm in it, and I'm excited for it to come out. It comes out February 12th on Paramount Plus, and the question from Arc E Studios 1 says, how did your role in At Midnight come to be? So guys, honestly, my role in this movie again, I'll talk a lot more about this when we get the Jonah on the podcast, but my role in this movie quite literally came from me and Jonah just connecting on social media. Jonah had been kind of a fan of my content and had watched a lot of my content because I love to talk about movies. And one thing you will find is that directors are most likely the most passionate, or are some of the most passionate people out there when it comes to movies and film. Hence why they're directors. You know what I'm saying? So I connected with Jonah because I saw one of his videos come up on my For You page on TikTok, and I had followed him back because he had followed me from, I guess, just watching my content. And then we just started talking, and things kind of ended up to him asking me like, yo, do you want a cameo in this movie that I'm making? And I was just like, hell yeah, bro, like no problem. And I got to do it, and wow, man, it all happened so fast. I quite literally, like, we had been talking for a couple of days. He had asked me, we had a meeting about it. And then I was very quickly driving to the barbershop to get a haircut, so I kind of look good in the movie. And yeah, it all came together very nicely, and I don't even know what to say, dude.
One thing I take from that is I'm gonna go now. Okay, this is what everybody should probably do now from this story. I'm gonna go to every freaking director that I ever loved, and I'm gonna go and comment and follow and try to DM all of them and try to be buddies with them and try to get a cameo in a show, because it's crazy the power of social media. How you're just like, I'm more than sure that wasn't your intentions. Like, yo, if I become this guy's friend, he's gonna put me in a movie. I'm more than sure that's not how it went. Like,
no,
sure
dude, I didn't even know.
You were just being active. Like, I know you. You're just being active on social media and talking to people. Like, I know that wasn't your goal in your mind.
No, not at all. Like, I didn't even know he was shooting this movie and making this movie until like he told me about it. So that's how it kind of came to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to connect with other people that are, again, like I kind of alluded to earlier in the podcast, like, when you have a goal, you got to immerse yourself with people that are after that same goal and are on that same journey. So for me, like I'm trying to connect with a lot of people that are trying to get in Hollywood, trying to work on movies, whether it's, being on set and just contributing to the on-set experience, whether it's to produce a movie, whether it's to direct a movie, whether it's to act in a movie. I'm trying to connect with all of these people in this space. Not trying to get something out of them, just to like have those conversations and seem and share that same energy. You know what I'm saying? Because like Geo, let's say we're both Geo, both you and I are very passionate about like movies and stuff. That's why when we talk about it, we share that same energy and we bounce off each other and it elevates us and we get hyped up about that.
100%.
So
100%.
Like Geo, if you were to have a conversation right now about, someone who's like in the gym, you're trying to grind in the gym as well. So like you guys are both talking about your goals in the gym, and you guys are both vibrating off each other. That shit is real. You know what I'm saying? And it'll lead you to a better place than you already are. So for me, like, yeah, I'm just trying to meet so many different people. I'm trying to, I guess, just work in Hollywood and that are after this kind of just on the same journey as me. And yeah, and share that same energy. And that's how I kind of got connected to Jonah, and that opportunity came to be. And honestly, I think, again, I can't really explain it. It was something that it was truly a gift of God. And man, shout out to Jonah for believing in me and for incorporating me into his vision for his movie and for his future. And man, I couldn't be more grateful. Shout out to Jonah Feingold. Trust me, guys. Follow him on social media. Keep up with his stuff. He's next up, man. He's one of the most passionate filmmakers I've ever talked to when it comes to filmmaking, and he's certainly going to be someone to watch in this space for the next couple years. And I really think he's gonna blow up over the course of the next few years. So shout out to Jonah.
Just like what he did was super cool. Like in general, like that was like one of the coolest things I ever heard any kind of like director or like writer or anybody in that space do. Just like fire ass conversation. He just like, he read your character and just like, you know what? I like you. Want to be in the cameo? Like he was cool. Like a lot of people wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? Because they're so like cocky, you know what I mean? But he sounds like, I'm really excited. I hope we get him on the podcast because I would really like to pick his brain a little bit and see his character. He sounds like a really cool guy.
Yeah, no, Jonah's the best, man. So shout out to Jonah. We'll definitely have him on the podcast in the future. And again, it feels crazy to say this, at midnight, February 10th on Paramount Plus. So
is that shit coming out at midnight?
I think it is.
Because I'll be watching it at midnight if that shit comes out at midnight.
Oof, yeah. February 10th, man.
Yo, you know what you should do? Matt, you should make a watch party like you used to do. You should make a watch party for that when it comes out and watch it with everyone. Just watch the whole movie, you know what I mean?
Dude, that'd be fire. Yeah. Maybe we'll see. Because I definitely want to bring the watch parties back over here on YouTube at some point. But yeah, guys, this has been such a fun episode of the Let's Go Show, man. So many blessings have come in the year of 2022, and let's manifest more blessings in 2023. Truly, thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. Make sure to give us some 5-star reviews on Spotify and iTunes. Make sure to interact with the content on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all over the place. Let's continue to grow. Let's continue to succeed, and let's continue to do what we do best, man. I love you guys so much. I cannot be more excited for what 2023 has to offer us. I'm sure we're going to be sitting here at the end of 2023 talking about this very moment. You know, let's make this moment special. Let's document this moment in time, and let's really give this next year everything we got, man. Life is so damn short, bro, and we just got to give this next year everything we got, because our time is running out. Our clocks are ticking. And we got to do everything in our power to get closer to where we want to be, to, I guess, serve and give back to the people that we love and to the people that have, helped us get to where we are. And yeah, man, we have a very exciting year ahead of ourselves. Again, let's fucking go, my friends.
Let's go!